Hello class, we are about to start quick series of exercises with making silhouettes of our own from observation. And first I want to show you a few simple materials that you will need around you while you're doing this. Definitely you have small collection of various size brushes, maybe a couple flat ones, but majority are round brushes for working with water, media and ink. And maybe a couple brushes that are smaller for finer detail. When we get to that, you would need some India ink, waterproof ink, and best kind of brand I recommend is Black Cat. It's very affordable, cheaper than many other brands, but with very good quality of covering and giving you a really pure black surface. So maybe some plastic palette, and I have a little bit of black ink already there. But again, Black Cat comes with these small cans that I usually go and kind of put my brush directly into that. Now, for some of you who may be more familiar with more heavier painterly techniques, I would allow you to use black and white tempera. From Dick Blick tempera is fine, student grade tempera is pretty cheap, and this is not original containers, but I'm using this just for exercise. You would need a jar with water and usual kind of simple elements of your kind of work with water based materials. I would recommend have a couple towels, paper towels, just in case if your ink splashes or you have a lot of ink on your hands, etc. And of course you need a heavy grade paper. This is watercolor based paper, cold or hot press, but something significantly thick to hold ink nicely and not pull it into the paper too quickly. So, and then this whole exercise is about training your mind, training your brain to see silhouetted forms in reality. And if we look around the room, we'll see this big window, big mirror, I'm sorry, where I see myself and few objects. And one other interesting thing about silhouetted studies, that they never jumping at you, as you need to conduct a little bit of thinking and record reality and then make creative decisions of what's working for silhouette and what's not. So today I'll try to explain my thinking and how I kind of accepting reality and turning it into graphic form. Because as illustrators, as designers, our work is oftentimes composition related and based on big symbols, big forms that we have to kind of turn our our art into. So let's try to move around, look around the room and see what I'm looking at. And as you see in my living room, I have this nice big mirror, and that's a good, actually a mirror is really interesting thing to play with, experiment with, work on your after portraiture sometimes, or static figure. And in this case, I'm paying attention to certain silhouetted forms I see right away. Because this candle holder that is black, and this striped thing on a commode, and chandelier, part of the room decoration, and my black short, my dark glasses, mirror frame behind me, all the things suggesting that it could be interesting, good study for experiment. And so I'll try to start with something, and before you start, you never know. And another important thing, see that I don't have a pencil, and my recommendation, part of this training, is not to have pencil at all in any part of your process. And what I usually do, I'm trying to, again, see the forms in certain manner, and kind of will try to kind of not to make much identification between, let's say, body form and furniture and other things. So right now I'm kind of trying to capture the bottom edge of the mirror. And again, this whole exercise is not so much about art of detailed, beautiful, final form, but about seeing interesting things to place as you see, like under, above this frame, that is, you understand this is a little bit of frame of mirror, actually of a commode that kind of becomes almost like mirror framing element. And after that, I see edge of the jar that holding brushes, and I can say that, well, put it in my composition. So that's already some kind of group of element that creates some kind of formation. And I'm not looking at separate objects and things, but almost like capturing more of the forms and formations in its whole entirety. So this piece stands for edge of the paper, on the back of the paper that I see in the mirror. And I'll probably, if I go with this further with this artwork in more detail, I would probably, make more effort to draw my hand better. And now kind of I'm trying to capture the form of my body that really kind of gets there. And you see, I'm kind of working not with line, not with any linear expressions, but with the larger forms and brush strokes, splashes of and see, I hope you're starting to see me, my body, in this quick exercise. And again, this is all conglomerate of different forms and things. And so in some places, I'm kind of moving too fast, and maybe kind of giving myself a little bit of, this is tricky, just kind of draw myself and pay attention to many details and things. Like I said, I missed the hand holding brush, but you can kind of get about certain things in the nature of silhouetted forms, rather than give it a more like a finesse image, but without having element of interesting form. So now I'm kind of trying to decide, I have a white hair, right? And should I leave it white? Because I have a white hair and behind me I see a white background. So, and one way to do that, I can make my hair style just to be in the shadow, which it is, and I kind of trick the nature a little bit. And again, this is just about training your brain and not create a real portraiture or anything of that serious matter, but to make adaptation of reality in simplistic forms. So that looks like me, I believe, in a very simple graphic established formation. And then basically all this art of making silhouettes, the little bit playful game, and my mind goes like, what if I frame myself into this composition by putting this large candle holder, and that would be maybe nice adaptation of kind of something from reality and something a little bit from imagination, in terms of, because I'm not trying to copy reality, but rather create a interesting composition using those objects and things for my benefit. That's sort of, and I have to feel kind of think about where to stop. In my mind, this kind of quick study is probably pretty good for kind of quick element of respecting reality and make a little bit of experiment towards creating interesting silhouette. I always fascinated with mirrors, and I think maybe that mirror element I see behind me could be another good framing element. And it's a very important thing not to draw too much into your composition, not to spoil and not to spoil it and not to make it. And the other dilemma, how to turn these white candles into pure silhouetted form. To make it into black silhouette will be a little bit of lie against reality, right? But what if I just make a little accent on the top? That would look like candle, and maybe emphasize. That's why you need maybe sometimes kind of smaller pointy brush to kind of make a little bit of sort of like a linear thing, but with brush it's always brush stroke. I mean, it's a kind of so, and I feel like we can sort of stop here almost, because it's kind of showing you the process and way to train your brain to see larger forms where reality presents too much details and things. So, so this was just a study I created in front of your eyes, and those two were done in preparation for this video session. And I just wanted to point out a couple important things. If you're not sure how to deal with just a black and white silhouetted, pure silhouetted form, you can start with establishing a little bit, a couple of gradations, like I was trying here with candles and a little bit of my face, but still, a lot of it done with strong silhouetted forms anyway. The other important points I want to make, you see, the subject matter is the same. Artist sitting in the studio and looking at himself or herself, themselves in a mirror in some kind of room. But you see, all three compositions are different, because first of all, I was trying to get, some of them are zooming in closer to my face and maybe have a stronger framing elements, and I particularly like how I stopped myself on putting this only few strokes on the surface of commode, and a little bit of reflection that other mirror. This feels more like a portraiture thing. And then the other attempt I was making, again, same main character, same environment. I was trying to show more of the environment and see how to include more things in my composition, and also been using a little bit of gradation, grade tones. I personally kind of like other two. This one came, I think, okay, and this one smaller scale things. And I can tell you also as an observation, as my old professor always was saying, never draw the whole entire world. And with study of silhouette, I'll show you in my other studies, sometimes minimalism and picking on small objects, small things, do you the best, and you will learn from it more than maybe trying to achieve more in your composition.